What is going on, guys? The brothers, welcome back to a brand new video, guys. I actually haven't made a video in a very long time, but luckily we got a new season in Fortnite, and the theme of this season is resistance, and I'm going to be making a settings video that I haven't done in a while, like I said, let alone a video in a while. So I'm excited to be showing you guys what I think would be the best settings for this new theme. So if you guys don't know, the new theme in chapter 3 of season 2 is basically like a battlefield. There's tanks, armored vehicles, a couple of new weapons, and just a new layout in the game with a lot new mechanics. And there is no building, hence the resistance coming into the theme of the new season. I'm gonna be showing you guys what I think is the best settings, just so you guys know. Solo, duo, squad, trio, all of these is gonna be no building. I don't think it's the same for arena and for creative, but you guys can try that. So I'm gonna show you guys what I think is personally the best settings for this new season, and with the whole building mechanic going away. So I'm going to show you guys what I have, explain in detail all the settings, and tell you guys what I think would be the best, or what you guys can do to make it better for you, just so you can really adjust to the season better. So starting off with video, this is right here, this is all preference. I always recommend showing these two. That's probably the main thing. If you guys want to adjust anything else here, like brightness, and basically the color contrast, that's up to you. I would always keep motion blur and FPS on. You don't have to, that doesn't affect your gameplay, but just to know how well your game is running. Just so you guys know, I do play on Xbox, so this is more of a Xbox PlayStation video on controller. But if you're playing on PC or anything else, this should still benefit you, depending on what your settings are. So coming down into my regular settings, you can already see like what I have for the most part. I don't know if they adjusted anything, by the way. This looks like this might be new actually over here. This is looking like for the new mantle. Yeah, this is basically like if you're jumping to ledges. So if you guys want to like adjust this depending on how you want it. Now, what I'm going to show you guys, yeah, I actually do see this. There's already some stuff that's a little bit different here. What I had before was like confirm edit, turbo building, and all these types of stuff. This isn't necessarily going to matter, because there's literally no building. So what I'm going to show you guys is what I think would be the best for movement, for dead zone related things, and for aim. So coming here, all of this doesn't really matter. I would keep these the way you guys already have it. Again, obviously you want everything to show. I would probably recommend even keeping this on, so you can see how well your HUD is looking and your connection to the game. Again, I'm playing on controller, so this isn't gonna really matter with me, but obviously playing on mouse and keyboard, this is where you're gonna want to be looking. And now getting into here, this is so weird because these are relative to some of my build settings. But anyways, guys, edit, don't gotta worry about. Slide, hold time, this is gonna be one that you guys want to worry about, but this was a mechanic that was added last season, so I'm sure you guys already know how you want that to look. Now, we're just going to skip by all building and editing stuff because that's not really going to matter. And I'm going to head straight directly into basically your look speed. So what I play on right now is a 44 on both horizontal and vertical. And the reason why I kept it at that is I feel like it's slightly low. But with building introduced, excuse me, not introduced, with building that was already in the game, I felt like that was pretty good. Then when you switch into build or edit mode, the sensitivity is a lot more like fast. Now that there's no building or editing, having to react to people shooting you behind the back, I'm probably going to most likely increase this. What I used to play was on a 51 back in the day. A 51 might be a little bit too high for me considering I haven't played that high in a while. But this is probably going to be the two that you guys want to increase just so you have better reaction time to when people are shooting you. Because you can't necessarily build and protect yourself. Coming into boost, this is... I wouldn't even worry about these. I always keep these on 0. Most pro players keep that on 0 too. A lot of these I would just keep onto whatever the default is. Now coming into ADS is probably going to be the biggest one. So guys, when ADS is aiming down sights, that's what that stands for. So that's what that stands for, excuse me. So horizontal is going to be when you're aiming down, how basically sensitive it's going to be moving. So like if I increase this to a 20, when you aim down sights and move the controller left to right, your gun's going to be shaking all over the place. The lower you drop it, the more accurate your shot will be. However, this is probably better to be low when there's building. So if someone's boxed up and you're shooting at someone in a box, they're probably not going to be moving. They're probably just taking cover. Now that there's no building or editing or any of those mechanics, and I'm not sure if they're going to be introduced later in the season, but considering and taking that into account that there's no building, I would actually increase this now to probably an 11 or 12. This is what I used to play on back in the day. I realized it was too fast, so I ended up dropping it to a 7-8. And now I'm actually probably going to increase it again, just because there's things like climbing, mantling, sliding, and like no building. People are going to be trying to, and there's also a new tactical sprint where you sprint a lot faster. So I feel like people are going to be focused on moving rather than taking cover. And obviously, taking cover is mostly going to be like head glitches, hiding behind rocks, hiding behind trees, but no one's going to really be boxed up. So I feel like sensitivity I would increase. That way if someone's like going down a mountain or climbing something up, they're going to try to move as quick as possible. Then I would probably keep this a little bit higher. Now, what else do we have? Again, I would keep these most default. Coming into dead zone, I play at around a 15. I might even increase this. The reason why I had it at 15 was because I felt like this was the best on building. Obviously, that's not really the case scenario now, so this, I would honestly hop in creative and see which one you like the most, but I wouldn't necessarily do building. Like, don't see how you like it with building. I would see how you like it without the building mechanic, because this is basically adding how sensitive your analog sticks are. So the lower, the more drift you'll experience, the higher, the more like strict it's gonna feel. So I play at a 15. I might even increase it now, or possibly decrease it depending on how I like it. And obviously, guys, you're gonna have to really work on your aim this season, because there's no building, there's no editing. So if you have the advantage of aim assist, don't ever not have it at a 100%. Always keep it at a 100%. Why wouldn't you? This is probably the biggest one, guys. I always play on linear. Basically, what linear and exponential tell you is linear is gonna feel a lot more like what you're doing on the controller is taking effect, whereas exponential is like you're kind of, that's how I'll explain it. Linear is you're driving the controller. Exponential, I feel like the controller is driving you. So for building, I always thought linear was better. And honestly, for aim, it's probably a little bit better. But I feel like when you're on linear, it takes away the strength of the aim assist. So if you focus on aim assist, I would go on exponential. If you rely on your aim without aim assist, I would stick to linear. But honestly, I would always keep it at linear, just because that's probably the smartest thing to keep. Now, hopping into audio settings, guys. This took effect last season. Always keep this on, literally. Nowadays, people are going to be crouched, sliding, mantling, head glitching, hiding behind things, trying to maneuver as quick as possible. You want to know where people are, because it's going to be hard knowing where people are, considering there's going to be no build. So I would always keep this on, without a doubt. Everything else you can keep basic. Again, if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, you know what to adjust. And then coming over here, I have my custom builds. Obviously, this isn't going to matter, but you guys can still come into here and adjust your combat controls. Obviously, build, edits, and all that kind of stuff isn't really going to matter, but if you want to mess with your ability, with your dead zone, which I actually showed you guys earlier, and your combat controls, that's going to be the main thing. But build and editing isn't going to really take any effect. So what I would do is make sure you guys, just to summarize everything, make sure you guys have a sensitivity that you feel like is loose enough to track people in this new meta, and in this new, with all the new mechanics added to the season. So pretty much what I showed you guys, I would just tweak what I showed you guys and find what you like the most. And what you like the most revolved around building and editing, then I would adjust it, hop in creative, and see what you like more while you're in creative. I would make sure to keep visualized sound effects on, make sure you have motion blur on, especially with things like tanks in the game, and there's going to be a lot going on. You want your thing to flow very smoothly. So hopefully I answered a lot of questions that you guys had or might develop during the season. If you guys want more content like this, by the way, I really enjoy making content like this, so let me know down in the comments below. Hopefully I answered all the questions that you guys had, and if you guys, again, want more content, let me know down below. Again, to summarize, there's no building in creative and arena. I don't know if it's the same, but right now if I happen to solo, there's not going to be any building, just a heads up. So hopefully this video does help you guys out. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And it's been the brothers, and we're out, guys. Peace.